Hello, YouTube world. This is Boy Canto 90, and here's my first official Stormbound video, the first of many. And on today's video, I'm going to cover three topics. The first topic being uh, deck management. And so, with deck management, as you can see, I have my chosen deck that I constructed called Poison Shot. All right. And here are my cards. I have Summon Militia, Copperskin Ranger, Crimson Sentry, Lime Limbs, Azure Hatcher, Marked as Prey, Personal Servers, Venom Fall Spire, Warfront Runners, True Shot Post, Salty Outcast, and Untamed Cultist. And basically, the idea behind this deck is to try to rush your opponent. Try to get farther, as close to your opponent's base as fast as possible in order to cut down his HP. And so basically, um, with this deck, these are all just the idea behind this deck. How it came to create it was basically cards that I just had laying around unused in other decks that I put together, and so I decided to put all of them in one deck and see how it goes. I have like a 60% win rate with this deck so far, at, with the current levels. And so with this deck, I'm gonna talk to you guys today regarding deck energy average. And basically, how that works is that you take the mana of every single one of your cards in your deck, and you divide by by 12, which is the total number allowed of cards uh, in a ordinary deck of Stormbound. And so, from 1 to 7 mana, if I take all 12 of these cards and add it up, the total energy mana is 48, and divide that by 12, and that gives you a deck energy average of 4. And so basically, what that means is that 4 is the amount that I can is the minimum amount that I can use in order to play any card that's 4 mana or below. For the 5 and 7 mana cards, I need to use that average to add to those numbers. So, for example, if I wanted to use True Shot Post, I need to have 4 mana plus 5 more mana to equal 9 mana. So I need a total of 9 mana before I can play my True Shot Post. And same thing as the Salty Outcast. 7 plus 4 is 11. So before I can play my Salty Outcast, I need a minimum of 11 mana. So when this card comes up on the board or in my deck, I have to skip it basically. And I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go to campaign mode, and I'm gonna choose Tribes of Shadowfen because that's what my deck is mostly composed of. And go into a game. All right. So these are the cards that I randomly drew. I could play any one of these, and that's fine with me. So my idea is to try to max out my mana for every turn, get as much value as I can out of my mana. So I'm gonna play Crimson Sentry, and I'm gonna play Summon Militia. All right, I end my turn. The computer plays. All right, They played their turn. So you see, I have Salty Outcast. So with my Salty Outcast, I have to basically, you can skip one card per turn. So I'm gonna skip my Salty Outcast, basically. So I'm gonna skip that. All right, I draw a new card. So I'm gonna draw Copper Skin Rangers to poison my opponent. There you go. I still have 3 mana left, but obviously I can't play any of these remaining cards. So I'm gonna end my turn. Bang bang. They play another card. All right. So now, since another topic I want to talk to you guys about is unit placement. As you can see, I have it's two strategic ways that you could place your units on the board. You could place your units either next to each other in a huddle to try to push into your opponent's base, or you can place your units further apart to try to distract your opponent. Because you have to remember, this is a strategic MMO video game. And so basically, what you want to do, you have to play it strategically, similar to chess. So these are the cards that I draw, and I can play any one of these cards. So I'm choose since I have 2 units compared to my opponent's 1 unit. I'm gonna play a structure, and structures are slightly different than units. When you're playing units, you try to play units that are movable. They are mobile. That have at least 1 movement per turn when you play them. But unlike to compensate for the weakness, the lack of movement for structures, because structures can't move in this game as of now. And so I'm gonna play Venom Fall Spire, and when you're placing your structures, try to place them either in the back row, or you can place them adjacent to your opponent's structures if they have any structures on the board, and you do that to increase the longevity of that structure that you play. So I'm gonna put this in the back, where behind any of my units that I have the most of, which as you can see is the Summon Militia Token Knights. So I'm gonna put this behind here. All right, and I'm gonna end my turn. Let's see what happens. All right. All right, that was a good play. Now it's my turn. All right, I poisoned my unit. As you can see, I drew a true shot post. So, like I said before, the deck energy management. Um, so since this is 5 mana, I have 7, but I can only play this as soon as I get 9 mana. So I have to skip this. And I'm gonna play a different card. All right, I'm gonna play Lime Limbs. And I'm also going to play a Zerhatcher. The reason I'm playing a Zerhatcher is because once it disperse, then it's going to push further up into and occupy more of my opponent's base, hopefully. All right, there you go. So now I've occupied two of the 4 spaces of my opponent's base, which is good. I'm pushing forward. I'm giving him less options to attack my units. Obsidian Butchers, that's good. That's a great play. Great play. And also another tidbit, um, the CPU. The CPU needs to improve, in my opinion. When if a player wants to test out a deck and play campaign mode, which is what most players do, if not all of us, it's important that I think that the CPU should match the current level that for any player. So my current level is 14. So the CPU should match that. 14. And it also should play more updated cards. You understand what I'm saying? So like it shouldn't be playing like the basic Azure Hatchers or Witches of the Wild. If it does, it should play like at a current level. The same it should match the same level that the any player is playing at. So like this, all these are level one, level one. So like my cards are level 3, level 4, level 3. So it be somewhere around those levels, level 3 or level 4. So again, I've drew Untamed Cultist. So 7 plus 4 is 11. So I can't play this card yet. So I'm going to skip it. All right. I have marked as prey. So I can use this card, which allows me to cover more ground. There you go. And I'm going to play personal servers to add to that number because that's the only unit on the board. So it'll be the only unit that it adds to. There you go. And you see, I used the strategy. I staggered my units. I put them in a huddle. They're in a huddle, so it's going to be tougher for my opponent to attack this unit when it has to deal with this unit as well in front. So I end my turn. I have no more mana left. All right, that's smart. Also, for July updates, it's currently June 30th, 2020, and I read a few weeks ago on a Reddit page that the current company that Stormbound and Paladin Studios partnered with Sheepyard. They are working on releasing patch updates for the cards and the game structure for the Stormbound for the month of July of 2020. So hopefully we will see a updated CPU for the campaign mode, which would be very exciting for players who want to test out decks or just kill time. All right, I have Salty Outcast. I can't play it. All right, I drew another Venom Fall Spire. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna since my opponent's units are piling up, I'm gonna use Crimson Sentry to get rid of those. Then I'm gonna use Warfront Runners. Then Summon Militia. I'm trying to max out my mana as much as possible. All right. All right, Untamed. All right. One left, so basically I could play True Shot Post. I drew True Shot, like I said. Try to play your structures at the bottom or as close to your base as possible behind everything other unit. So I'm gonna play it at the base, and since I'm trying to end this game, I'm gonna play Lime Limbs, and that's basically the end of the video. The topics I covered were deck energy management, um, or deck energy average, uh, unit and structure placement, and also the uh, July updates, patch updates. So this is all for video number one. I'm planning on uploading once a week onto YouTube with Stormbound and other mobile games that I have on my phone. Try to help anyone, teenagers, young adults. Try to work with this pandemic right now, and even after the pandemic. You know, so I'll post this. Please, you guys, If you do comment, please be respectful to each other, be respectful to yourselves, be respectful to me, because we all come here to learn. That's the main focus, to learn in a positive environment. That's the best way to. That's the best way we can be become better versions of ourselves. Thank you, and have a great day.